Hello everyone and welcome to another Pax Dei video. Ever since the alpha has concluded, it has been one of the most thought of games, the most interesting ideas, and honestly the hope that I really do have a lot of hopium for this game, that we can continue to see it thrive. But I'm not alone in that. Over on the Discord, lots of conversations going on, so I thought I would do kind of a developer's perspective on what to expect next, and perhaps even when it comes to a couple of the topics that have been shared over there on the Discord. But that's what this video is going to be about. If you guys enjoy Pax Dei content, video game content in general, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, just like the 263 of you guys who've taken a chance on my content here. Welcome in, welcome back, and let's go ahead and dive in. Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Brian. If you happen to be new around here, today I want to focus in on kind of two key topics. The second topic is going to be a little bit about console support, and I think that there are some real opportunities here with this game, but I'm going to explore that with you because it's not all sunshine and rainbows when we're talking about a PC game coming to consoles. There's going to have to be some trade-offs, and I want to explore that as the topic. But the first thing I want to talk about is, when should we expect another test? This is something that I've been seeing asked about over on the Discord, and I thought I could kind of give some insight how development, especially game development, works in terms of time frame and trying to set the correct expectation. Obviously, this is speculation based off of my experience in the field, but every team is different. Now, traditionally, we've seen the agile methodology take over. What that means is that, generally speaking, every 2 or 3 weeks-ish is a kind of a unit of work called a sprint, and the tasks that need to happen are broken up into that. Now, a good management team has what's called a backlog that's well thought out, well understood, where things build upon each other for both constant improvement and so much more. And based off of what we've seen with the alpha already, there's a lot of confidence that I have in this development team. And that's why one of the reasons I would state that we're not going to see another test in December, namely because we're going into the holiday seasons. But if they want to surprise me and delight me and give me more access to this game, all the better for it. But ultimately, I'm setting my eyes on 2024. Now, generally speaking, I break up game development in 6, 12, 18 and 24 months. Those are just various different time blocks. One of the things that I see a lot of people see is when you see a marketing beta happen where the developers are like, hey, it's basically a stress test, but we're going to label it a beta. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just a beta, they can fix it. Because generally speaking, a beta is usually roughly anywhere from 18, 12, 6 months out from the intended release, because that's going to give you the bandwidth and the time to be able to take the feedback and turn it into actionable items, because gamers will optimize the fun out of everything or anything, and it is an important kind of role of kind of the business analysis, the game master, if you will, to decide what the answers are yes to and what the answers are no to. And I think where we are with this game being in an alpha, I think that gives us a real good insight into where this game is going to go in the long run, and we'll explore that in additional topics. But when we talk about 2024, I don't think we're going to have to wait all that long. I would estimate sometime maybe around March. If they want to come in sooner, they're going to be coming into a season of hot games. It seems that at least recently, January and February tend to be pretty packed with new releases that kind of get pushed out, and March ends up being kind of a more open playing field area. And being, again, this is an alpha, I don't know if they're going to follow this quote unquote up with the beta. We do know that there is a consistent alpha that's running for friends and family within the development team, and I think that's an important aspect that we should always consider. But I would wonder if sometime early or early spring, if we're going to classify March as that, it depends, I guess, on where you are in the world, that's when we might start to see the next time that we can actually step in and touch the game. And what's going to be a strength of that is that gap increases, because again, no release date. This is the alpha, that if they come out with another alpha that is roughly, that's like 4 to 5 months from the current one. We can see and look at a lot of measurable improvements, and that could essentially help us to determine the velocity for other features that currently aren't in the game. But one of the things that I think we'll see obviously between then is lots of communication, screenshots, maybe even videos, things to tide us over until we can actually go hands-on with it again. I'd love to be wrong and always love to see it sooner as long as it's ready. I've already missed the alpha and I already missed playing the game, so I'm very excited to see what happens with it in the future. Now, I did say the other topic of console support, right? Because this game supports controller out of the gate, but the UI isn't set up to recognize that level of detail. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is a strength, though, that they're already thinking through how a controller can interact with this game in this world. There were things I was not able to do, but that could have been just my lack of trying. But mostly what I really kind of determined was that the system isn't set up with a UI to really truly take advantage of the controller. How does this then map over into console support? Well, we know consoles are not as strong as PCs. And when it comes down to PC gaming, I think there is that demand that people want to say, like, no, this is going to be on some hardware that we're going to really want to push the limits on, because that's what we want in an MMO. That's what we want in a living, breathing world. We don't want it held back by consoles. Well, one thing I would hope for, because they've also talked about how this is built off of native cloud technology, kind of as a core foundation to the Unreal Engine 5 that is the driving engine building the game, is that my hope is that cloud streaming opens up games in so many ways. I use GeForce Now all the time. It's an incredible service. It's an incredible experience for PC gaming, especially because I can't keep up with every new graphics card that comes out, and what's coming down the pipeline for NVIDIA has me even more excited for when that naturally just gets upgraded and I get to take advantage of it. Ultra wide, 120 frames per second, no lag. That is the future. That is something where you don't need to break your bank and go and spend $5,000 to $6,000 on a state-of-the-art PC if you have the decent internet connection. And the thing that makes online games like this one so appealing, especially when it comes to cloud streaming, is the online requirement is already understood and expected, as opposed to, I don't understand how I would sell you a single-player game, because we haven't really truly seen what a cloud compute would bring to a single-player game that we don't already have better examples of. Like, I mean, you look at Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, it launched horribly, but holy crap, look at that game now. It's incredible. Visually, no loading. I mean, let's go. So when it's all said and done, console support would be, I think, a good thing for long-term success of the game, giving players more opportunity to play. But I don't think it needs to be native console support. I think you just need to support the controller, and you need to support the ability to stream as long as you have the decent internet connection, so that you don't have a bad experience, because you have a bad experience, that's not fun for anybody. But I think that would be the solution. I think that would be also, in a way, the perfect kind of balance to allow for mass market, while at the same time not having to water down the game just to meet certain requirements, or especially aging requirements, because by the time this game releases, we could be talking 2025. Who knows? We'll start to get a clearer picture with kind of the next round of updates. That kind of all falls into the velocity of what I'll be analyzing. But once we get a clearer picture when this game comes out, we might be on the verge of another generation of consoles, which could support, obviously, more of what we're seeing in today's market. Now, feels like my voice is starting to fade. That means it's time to wrap up today's video. Guys, if you feel like it earns it, hit that like button. Subscribe for more Pax Dei content so you don't miss it. Be sure to ring the bell, as you never know how YouTube's going to handle notifications in this case. I thank you so much all for being here. I thank you guys so much for the comments on the last video and the 21 likes on the last video. Absolutely groundbreaking and mind-blowing. Anyhow, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoy whatever YouTube recommends for you to watch next, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. But until then, take care.